Hey, this is Pamela Riemann-Schneider. I'm the retail editor for Blue Book Services, and this is the Produce Reporter Week in Review. Greg, you're inside. I'm dreaming of where you are outside. I
You
wish
know,
I
we've
was in
shot this
California.
we've shot this video before with me outside, and it's so darn bright. I'm actually kind of happy to be in here. There'll be plenty of stuff out here outside while I'm here, but looking up in the sky at a camera phone, that's I've done it before. It's not fun.
No, but you're there for the Foodservice Conference, the International Fresh Produce Association's Foodservice Conference, and I was just there for the Organic Produce Summit. And I'm sure, and although, I don't even know if there has been any time to do anything yet, people are going to be drawing some comparisons. What are you looking for?
Well, it hasn't really started yet. The big expo is Friday, and I did go through and look at the new product showcase, and there's a lot of stuff that we've actually run stories about. I think there's going to be a lot of new products this year that last few years people maybe were holding on a bit. I think we're going to see a lot of new products. We're going to see a lot of convenience oriented products, more so I think than last year, because I think the restaurant industry is starting to realize the labor situation may never get better, and so it's time to invest. We've how many stories have we covered about automation and food service? We've got the guacamole maker at Chipotle. We had the pizza maker at Donato's. That's the tip of the iceberg, I think.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. And I cannot tell you how many times I feel like it's like I'm getting played here, because when I'm on TikTok, I've seen so many people showing what it's like to get a food service order delivered by Uber Eats, the little robot. And it's not technically sponsored, but I really feel like it's suspicious that many people are TikToking their delivery robot showing up with their food order. So all of that, I think we're really going to see a lot of new products, new innovations, and a lot of talk about back of house and trying to minimize and this is something that we've talked about year over year. I can remember 10 years ago at least talking about onion companies talking about chopped onions versus, or even just peeled onions versus whole onions when we're talking back of house. That is a huge labor savings, or at least that's what they're marketing toward a lot of these food service operators. So definitely going to see some of that coming from there. Speaking of avocados, it's not a coincidence that you're seeing them everywhere right now, because I don't even know when this happened, but somebody declared July 31st as National Avocado Day. So a lot of avocado content. We got avocado piñatas, we got avocado purses, we got all of the avocados, but your favorite store, Aldi, also has avocados, and it's not just a
Right,
coincidence there
the
either.
shoppers preference list.
This very much reminds me of Trader Joe's and the Trader Joe's foodie finds and their annual list of things, because I don't think it's a coincidence that Trader Joe's and Aldi customers both picked avocados as their favorite thing, but for very different reasons, I feel like, because the ones at Trader Joe's are the teeny tiny ones marketed to millennials, but that's totally irrelevant now. I feel like I think it's just a really cool way of trying to minimize waste. But for Aldi, we're talking about finding avocados for cheap. So
That is the thing about Aldi avocados, is they tend to be smaller, but they're cheaper. They're way cheaper, and they're rock hard. And as long as you know how to ripen them, they're very good. And in the Midwest, we don't get 50-cent avocados like you do in Texas. So when you go into Aldi, you can get a bunch and it's a good deal. Whereas traditional grocery stores, they're still pretty expensive, even though it's a really good big crop.
And I really find it interesting, just as the mindset of a consumer shopping in Aldi. We would think of this as a discount retailer, right? But here they are shopping at Aldi for avocados and looking for avocados at Aldi. It's a totally different mindset than what you would think of as the Aldi shopper 10, 15 years ago. And we had another news release, and I got to write something about this because I think it's fascinating. John Mackey, the founder of Whole Foods, has a new concept, and for me, it's completely on a different tax bracket but he started this new thing. I don't even know how to say it. It's called a health optimization program called Love.Life. And it's going to be like concierge doctors talking to you about healthy lifestyle and longevity and things that you can do in your life to live better. But then it all wraps up in diet as well, where they will have a special fancy doctor come talk to you on a depending on the level of care you're paying for. They will talk to you about your health issues, run labs and all of this other stuff, and then your goals, whether you want to be a prescriptive diet as far as like an illness or a wellness diet, and then they will prescribe food for you and then sell it to you as well. So they're going to have a retail locations and then restaurants where you can get the food that your doctor has recommended that you get, or your wellness expert. All of this is completely different than the tax bracket folks at Aldi, and it's totally out of my tax bracket, but I find it fascinating as the Gen Xers get older. We get forgotten a lot of the time, but they're some of the largest vitamin consumers and incoming vitamin consumers. And we're all thinking about, oh my gosh, I got to start taking care of myself. And this is right up that the elder Gen X folks. I feel like if you've got money, you'd be looking up John Mackey's new concept. I think it's fascinating.
Or you could have just been eating a good share of your diet as fruits and vegetables all along. I mean, that's a possibility.
You could have, but there's plenty of pizza in there. Got to undo all the damage that we've been doing.
As long as half your plate.
Right. But I can guarantee you there is I mean, it's starting to hit folks our age where it's like, I got to really start paying attention to this now. And coincidentally, here's a fancy doctor, because I never get time with the doctor that I think I'm getting. I never get the tests that I think I should be getting. And if I just pay a little more, then I can get all of that. And by the way, they will take the thinking out of food for me as well. There's certain appeal, and there's definitely a consumer for that out there.
Yeah, I think I'll pull the old Missouri show me and we'll see what happens.
Right, the first stores of this are in California, so it's definitely not something coming to the Midwest anytime soon. All right, I'm going to let you get over there to the opening reception for the Foodservice Conference, and we will hear more from you next week from that show. For now, that's it for the Produce Reporter Week in Review. If you are not getting the Produce Reporter newsletter, you need to go to producebluebook.com and sign up.